Welcome to a fresh episode of Bank on It, and today I'm excited to be joined by my guest, Johan Peens, also known as JP. JP, thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure. Thanks,
Tell us
Koshiek.
about the cool stuff that you do, JP.
Cool stuff is financial planning and how to make the life easier for people out there that doesn't necessarily have it or get it, and how we can help them sort their lives out.
And that's the crux of what we're going to be chatting about today, simplifying finance, and more especially adulting 101, right?
Look forward to it.
I look forward to it too. So, you, early on in your career, you're faced with this complete black box of decisions. It's just confusing. You don't know where to start. First car, first house, planning for maybe a wedding, paying off student loans, first paycheck, just everything. It's just chaos, right? Someone who's starting out, how can we simplify those decisions? Where do you even start when you're faced with all this information, all of these noise, all of these big ticket purchases? Take me through it.
Koshiek, to make it as basic and simple as possible, number one step in any financial plan, any consideration of a financial plan, we have people out there talking about retirement annuities, pension funds, retiring, etc. The number one step, the most simplified step, build emergency funding. That should be bucket number one.
Rainy day. Say for keep cash away for a rainy day.
Right? You want liquidity.
Okay.
Simple as that.
That's it. So before you even get started on big ticket purchases, make sure you have a little bit of cash set aside.
And that is exactly it. You don't want to pay for short-term debt or short-term expenses using long-term investments. So the idea is counterproductive if you think about it, counterintuitive to what you do. But the first step is make sure you've got emergency funding. That emergency funding can help you when those big unexpected moments happen. And you can make payment of that. And even if you don't use that money ever in your life, it means you've got discretionary money at retirement, which again means that you have flexibility and options.
Now, JP, you've been a certified financial planner for almost 20 years, and you've seen many different case studies of people who have made bad personal finance decisions, and you help them recover and you put together a game plan. What are some of the biggest financial mistakes you see people making, the most common 2 or 3 ones? And how can the people who are watching this, our audience, avoid making those mistakes?
So, 3 simple things to look for. First off, you want to understand the product itself. So understand the product. What's the interest rate? How does it work?
So getting into the wrong type of financial product.
Correct.
Okay.
So you don't want to get into the wrong financial product. You definitely want to focus on fees. So fees is a big part of that.
So expensive.
So expensive or cheap, both ways. You want to make sure that you focus on the cost and then what service you get or what benefits you get for that cost or the fee that you're putting out there. And number 3 is probably the performance. So you want to look at how that benefit or that investment or your little bit of money that you've got left in the bank is performing, and you want to keep your eye on that.
Got you. So let's simplify that with a real world example. I walk into a car dealership and I see a really nice car that I like.
Yes.
And the salesperson just gives me this fat contract and says, sign it. What are some of the things I should be looking for when buying my first car?
So number 1 is the interest rate. You want to keep a keen eye on the interest rate.
What is that? Let's explain what an interest rate is, right? Basically.
So interest rate is what the bank will charge you for looking after that vehicle. They usually add on a bit of money on that, so or a percentage onto that. So you would find that your normal rate would be 7.5%. If we add on what the banks charge you additionally, generally you get an additional fee. So you want to make sure that you go and scope that and understand what the interest amount is that you're going to pay over that term.
So the cost of taking out that loan.
Correct.
Right. So if you take out a loan for 100,000 rands and the interest rate is 12%, 12,000 rand gets paid over and above than 100,000 rand. Right?
100%.
Got you.
100%. And that means that you pay that interest first before you pay off your capital amount that you owe them.
Got you. Take me through the basic steps in building a super basic budget, and what does that mean for everyone that's watching this?
So off the bat, Koshiek, you want to understand your cash flow. So what do I have available at the end of the month? One of the biggest questions we get when we do financial planning, and right from the start, this is usually the question that we get is, I've got all this money left over at the end of the month, but I don't. And that's because they don't budget properly, and they allocate money to something that they don't know they're allocating money to. So we call it the bucket system. So you always want to understand buckets of where things fall into to make it really simple. Always pay yourself first. So any budget, you should think of it in that light. It's to pay yourself first. Simple budgeting is take your income, understand how much I'm bringing in. You want to do a simplified tax calculation. You can get guys out there that can do the really heavy tax lifting for you and understand what that tax implication is going to be. But you want to understand how much tax you pay, and you want to understand your expenses. And yes, they are moving target, as we call it, but that moving target is probably adjusted once a year. So you want to adjust that budget once a year, sit down with the wife or the husband and have a look at it, or with the partner, or if it's just by yourself, make sure. If you with someone, make sure you do it together. It doesn't help having separate and you don't understand what the money flow is. And once you put that budget together, you'll understand how much income I'm getting, how much expenses I'm paying, and how much do I have left over in the month. If I have zero or negative, obviously I'm overspending, and there needs to be a change in my psychology to understand why this is happening. What am I spending my money on? If it's positive, great. Then it means you've got some extra money lying around, and probably makes it easier for you to exercise some choices in terms of wanting to buy big ticket items, or saving for big ticket items, or investing, or whatever it might be.
You talked about this, I'm here for a good time, not a long time type culture, right? This instantaneous gratification. And social media has fueled that in a big way, where you're constantly seeing versions of success that are very deceptive. You want to own everything right now because you feel like everyone else is doing well. And you benchmark your success and your reality to other people's reality, which, looking at the statistics, isn't even real, right? It's credit card fueled, it's personal loans, it's reckless spending, it's stealing from retirement, your future, to live now. How dangerous is it to be living right now, like living in the moment and trying to unplug from the social media culture we're in, where it's like spend, and actually saying, I'm playing the long game, it's difficult now, but in the future, it's going to pay off for me?
It's that old age concept of keeping up with the Joneses. We look over the mirror, or over the wall at our neighbor, and we see the new Benz in the in the garage, or the new big screen TV, or whatever it might be. And people do have instant gratification. It's a very difficult concept, and I think it's getting more difficult if you look at younger people. Having kids myself, I look at the very young generation, and you can see almost the instant gratification. So there I'm trying to teach my kids again, what does it mean to have dry powder, or to have that money in the bank, and being ready for whatever. If you want to buy something down the line, if I want a fridge, if I want a TV, if I want to buy couches, something like that, how important it is to put some money away, save up for it, and then when the time is right, I can go and buy it. So either it's on a special or whatever it might be, or I have enough money to just go and buy it, rather than taking up credit to go and feel the desire of having that item. Obviously, some items, you can't get away from it, and you need some assistance from a loan or something. We're talking vehicles, houses.
Big ticket purchases.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. But in terms of, those shorter term things, people...
Consumption stuff.
Correct.
PS5. Can I just take on a loan to buy a PlayStation?
100%, and that's where it's at, you know. Even we look at weddings, we look at, and those are big ticket items.
And they get expensive.
100%, and people go and take personal loans to do a wedding, you know, and impress people that you're going to see once and probably never again, you know, and it doesn't make sense. And people don't want to understand it because they live that social life, that Instagram.
They look for
TikTok.
that validation.
They want that validation. People must see me. People must accept that, you know, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, you know, everything. And that's how those people get caught up with it usually. Is the socials that they follow are people that, as you mentioned, live off credit, live off loans, you know, or rent a fancy car and a fancy watch for a day and bling it out, and you think, wow, this looks spectacular, look at this guy, I want to be like him. Meantime, back at the ranch, and we've discussed this many times, you know, it isn't what the picture is. That person's living in debt, or that person is not making ends meet because they aren't actually living that life. It's just a perception that you see and that they want you to see.
JP, thank you so much for sharing your insights and wisdom. We covered so much in such a short space of time. Such an incredible episode. It's so great to have you, and look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.